joining me, and this is the part of the video where I normally tell you what I'm going to be looking at in this video, but right now, right here, I'm not absolutely sure. By the time I write the title, I probably will have an idea, and it's not that I don't have anything to say, it's the exact opposite. I'm absolutely overwhelmed with questions and information, and I know the energy's high. I know we're in the midst of the lunar eclipse. I know the ascension symptoms are going through the roof, and we've got all these questions that we want to look at, and I was feeling overwhelmed, but I decided what happens when you feel overwhelmed? You just cut it back to basics. Let's start at the basics and move on from there. So I'm going to be starting off, as far as I'm aware, and I'm going to let the cards lead me on this, but I'm going to be starting off, as far as I'm aware, with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's relationship. A lot of truthers have been saying that their relationship is not even real, and I've heard the tapes, I've heard the audios, and I feel that it is, and certainly from some of the readings in the past, it hinted that this relationship was real. It wasn't just a Hollywood relationship set up by the Black Cats. But I do want to look at that, because once we start asking what is real about this and what isn't, is the trial even real? Who is actually in charge of it? Because I got Black Hat and White Hat involvement. Who actually is in charge of it? And her go, what is likely to be the outcome? Is the jury real? What about her legal team? What about her expert witness? Because we found out a few things about, I think her name was Dr. Hughes, and what about her legal team as well? Because there's questions around that as well, even before we get to questions about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and Disney and what's going on with Disney, and I want to ask that question as well. But to ask all these questions, it's probably going to be about 10 videos, but let's start off at the beginning and look at Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's actual relationship. How much of that is actually real? So let's start somewhere and let's get started. Right, so that was a very, very long intro, I know. This is coming on freewheeling here, which I normally don't like doing, but we're going to just roll with the punches. Like I say, there's so much going on. There was no way I could get it in any kind of logical order. So I'm going to be starting off with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's actual relationship, because a lot of truthers have said, like I said, that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's relationship isn't even real. It's just a Hollywood relationship that's been set up by the Black Cats for whatever purpose they had, which would imply that a lot more than we think of the trial is fake. And I'm going to be obviously leading on to that, because that's the next question. Because if we know how much of the trial is real and how much of the trial is not real, we can know the involvement of the White Hats and the Black Hats, because I got both were involved. And if you've watched my videos, I did get that. That is the real Johnny Depp, but it's not the real Amber Heard. She's been taken off for processing, but he's working with the White Hats. But we didn't get when he actually joined the White Hats. Although I did get that 6 years ago when Amber Heard made the accusation against Johnny Depp, that was her rather than a Black Hat op. So we can start from there, shall we? But let's get onto the cards. I'm sorry if you can hear that noise outside. I hope you can't. My next door neighbour is drilling or something. I'm not sure exactly what. I don't want to stop every time they're drilling, because I could be here for days, and I really want to know the answers to these questions. So I'm just going to get started. So let's cut straight to the crux of the matter, will we? Right to the base of the matter. How real or unreal is this relationship between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? Is this, as people say, just a black hat op? Let's lay a general spread and then we'll do a relationship spread and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of this. I'm not sure whether this is even answering my question at all, but Spirit do this to me quite a lot. I think it's answering the question, but in a roundabout kind of way. I have consistently got Amber Heard as a fire sign woman. Here she is again in the past position, and this is obviously walking away. So I get what I get they're saying here is there was a walking away of her. Now, I know that Amber Heard is a Taurian, but I also know that she was born on the 22nd of April, I believe. And I did look at the ephemeris for the particular year she was born. I think it was 1986. I could be wrong about that. No, 1986. Yeah, that's right. And the sun did cross into Taurus, I believe, on the 21st of April. So officially, yes, she is a Taurian, but we know she's a fiery character. She is on the cusp, as far as I'm concerned. She's also a tiger, which I believe relates to the Leo in Western astrology. So we're going to take this as Amber. So there was a walking away. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I did want to get that in because I did do a little bit of research on that. And she was looking forward. None of this suggests this relationship was set up at all. None of this. This suggests a real relationship and a real breakup. That's what this suggests to me. I get that when all this came out, when the fight actually came out, the white hats saw this as an ideal opportunity here to wake people up. I know in the past when we've looked at this, nobody expected this to take off in the way that it did or attract so much focus or attention as it has done. But I get that they were struggling to get people to wake up, and I get that they dived on this as an ideal opportunity. So I get maybe the white hats came in later on. Now, I don't know whether they'd already done a deal with Johnny Depp or not at this point. One would assume that they had, but I don't know at what point yet. You know, as Sagittarius, we won't give up until we found the answer. This is obviously the white hat stepping in here, just leapt on the opportunity and just taking every opportunity. Now, I do get that most of the questions I have to ask about the legal team, about the expert witness, about what the expert witness has been up to, about all sorts of questions, about the mainstream media, mainstream television, for example. There was something recently about Saturday Night Live that I did want to look at. They did a skit absolutely ripping apart Johnny Depp, apparently, and exalting Amber Heard, but I'll look at that later on. I do want to look at that when we get round to it. But I get it. It's, oh, thank you. Okay, my spirit guides have just piped in there. This is awakening a lot of love in people. This is not only awakening people to what's going on, but it's awakening a lot of love in people. And love, obviously, is the prime motivator in moving us forward into awakening, because love, obviously, ultimately is what we are. And so it's so important to bring that in. So let's take it that the whole thing is a real relationship. Let's just do a quick relationship spread. We'll put Johnny Depp first, shall we? Let's do Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Let's put Johnny Depp first in this and see how genuine is this relationship and this breakup. Thank you. I do want to say as well, and I do believe that I've covered this already, a lot of this was to do with healing his abusive past with his mother. Now, I got it was SRA because it was involved with the deep state dark cult. Although obviously on the stand he's saying it's parental abuse. Now, we could look into that. If you want me to look into that, leave me a comment below and I will look into that. I got it was SRA, but I'm not sure his parents, from what we got, I'm not sure his parents were involved in the deep state dark cult. I'm not sure they were dragged in, or at least dragged in early, although he was involved early. I'm getting, once again, I'm getting this relationship is real. I'm getting this whole relationship is genuine, and I do get that what my guides have said to me about this was a karmic way for him to heal the abuse of his childhood, as so many of us experience, so many of us who have had experienced abuse, whether that's childhood parental abuse or whether that's partner abuse or both, or any other form of abuse, male, female, gay, straight, whatever. I know a huge amount of light workers, because I've spoken to a lot of them about this. A huge amount of light workers have suffered abuse, and I do get that it's a huge help in either moving us towards the light or moving us towards the darkness. And I get that this relationship was very, on many levels, very healing for Johnny Depp, because he worked through a lot of his issues from childhood, from his childhood abuse. It moved Amber Heard towards the darkness, although from what I get, she's pretty much gone now. But I get absolutely this relationship was genuine. Oddly enough, I also get what's going on right now. I think I got this before, is a huge gift for Amber Heard, because for some reason it is moving her forward towards the light. A little bit too late, because I don't believe that's Amber Heard on the stage, and it's on the stage. Well, that was quite telling, wasn't it? On the stand, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my readings have said, that's a clone. Which brings me to my next point. The white hats, as far as I'm aware, don't use clones, and I understand that, because it would be unethical, because obviously clones are unethical. Obviously, I know from the readings I've done so far, it's the black hats and the white hats are involved in this, and I get that this is quite complicated, this whole trial. And if I ask a general overview, I'm not going to be getting to the crux of the matter, because that's what we've done before, and the answer wasn't clear, because the answer isn't that clear. So I want to be breaking this next question down a little bit more. Okay, so we've got the black hats and the white hats are involved in this trial, but I did get that this is a genuine trial. But let's actually confirm that. Let's start with this actual trial. How was this trial started? Was it Johnny Depp that brought this? Was it a white hat op, or was it a black hat op, in terms of past, present and future? So let's have a little bit of a look and see what we get around this. Now, as I was laying these cards, I did get a brief recollection of a reading that I've already done, that the White Hats prompted Johnny Depp, or came to an agreement with Johnny Depp about moving forward. I don't believe that he was forced to do so. I know he knew that they were closing in on all Hollywood stars, not just him, obviously, at the time. But they did come to an agreement with him about moving forward. They did prompt him to move forward. Now, I know in a previous reading we had the fact that he was already ready to jump at this point. He'd already had enough. He'd already drawn the line. And I know that the start of this trial was not the beginning of when this happened, and I know he was ready. He felt stuck, he felt trapped, he didn't know where to go, and I get that this prompting him to move forward. Thank you. It was later that the Dark Hat stepped in. I get this from a previous reading. They already knew that Johnny Depp wanted to jump ship at this point. But I get that. Oh, thank you. My spirit guide had just whispered in my ear. It was the White Hats that gave Johnny Depp. Thank you. Okay, I get it. It was the White Hats that gave Johnny Depp the confidence to move forward with this. He knew it was going to be slow. He knew it was going to be quite painful. But he also knew that the Black Hats would have ruined everything if the White Hats hadn't had a modicum of control. And I'm pretty sure they've got more than a modicum of control over the legal system, over the media, over all sorts of facets of life that would have destroyed him. Which leads me to my next question, which was the previous trial. Now, I know this is going on quite a while, so I do want to be mindful of the time. I'm breaking this down into separate videos, because obviously if I ask all the questions I want to ask, we're going to be here for 10 videos. I could be doing this for hours. But let's have a look at the previous trial. Now, as far as I'm aware, the previous UK trial was not against Amber Heard. It was against the Sun newspaper. If you're not from the UK, you're probably not across what the newspaper is. I know a lot of YouTubers have pointed out the fact that the Sun newspaper came to prominence because of the page 3 girl, because of topless models on page 3, and that really is what the Sun is all about. Let's have a look at the previous trial, because obviously the Sun are sued regularly, so they have a whole team of expert lawyers. That's who they are. They wouldn't have survived if they didn't have lawyers. So let's have a look at the previous trial and who was in charge of that, although I'm pretty sure we can probably guess, but let's double check. Well, I'm absolutely shocked. There are no deep state dark court cards here. None, not one. And there are no white hat cards here either. Maybe this really was a personal affair again. Maybe they just didn't need to get involved. Maybe they felt they literally didn't need to get involved. He clearly saw the lies and the deceit that can be spread. And I get that obviously this is why he just backed off. It did end a cycle for him though, which is good, until this turned up. Obviously at some point it was going to come up again, because obviously with that much slander against his name and 2 children to think of, I do get that this first trial was a personal affair. That doesn't mean that the Sun newspaper didn't bribe anybody. But I'm getting no deep state dark cult cards here at all. Now I know that video's going on. I was just checking the time there. I do just want to ask one more question before we move on. Obviously I want to ask about the poop in the bed. I'm going to do a full spread on this because I want to know, did Amber Heard poop on Johnny Depp's bed? We all want to know. If it was a personal affair and she was angry, she probably did. Although she could have got a friend to do it. I don't know. Let's have a look, shall we, and see if Amber Heard pooped on Johnny Depp's bed. See if we can get an answer. Right, okay. I was getting spirit guide whispering to me throughout the whole thing. I know she's not appeared on this spread, although obviously she did think she was the queen at the time, the empress. She really did think she was being clever, although luckily this was just another ending point, and anybody who's been in any abusive relationship where walking away is possible, and obviously when you're a child, walking away is not always possible in our heads, is it? Although when we're in an abusive relationship, walking away is not always possible in our heads. It's such a complex issue. I want to do a whole series about narcissism and abuse and light workers. I really do want to be looking at this for men, for women, whoever. It doesn't make any difference to me, although I understand it makes a difference to you because I've discussed this so many times with so many men who've suffered abuse. I get that this was an ending point for him. She thought she was being absolutely clever with all of this. She thought she was being manipulating him into making him feel even worse than he already did, which is obviously, I'm going to call her a narcissist. I know the psychiatrist said she had histrionic personality disorder and bipolar. Now I'm not disputing that at all. I'm not a psychiatrist. I've not spoken ever to Amber Heard. I don't know. I'm going to go with that, obviously, but to me my term is narcissist because that's my experience, that they all have these narcissistic traits, and I do get there's an overlap. I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't even know what histrionic personality disorder is, to be honest. But anyway, she thought she was being very, very clever, as these abusers do. She thought she was the queen of the castle. I do get it backfired on her, but certainly what Spirit was whispering to me was she just ignored the facts, as so many narcissists and abusers do, and decided that she'd done the right thing anyway and go on with that thought in her head. And they've just whispered the word to me, delusional. I don't want to tread on anybody's psychiatric or psychology toes. Like I said, I'm not an expert in that field, so I'll give way to the experts, but certainly looks delusional to me. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Let me check the time. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this video. I'm going to get on to the next video. I want to be looking around Disney, and there are a few, Johnny Depp's relationship with Disney, Amber Heard's relationship with Disney. Are Disney still black hats Are they deep state still? Have they moved on? There are lots of questions as well about Amber Heard's legal team and her expert witness as well. And I want to know, is the trial real? Is the jury real? What is likely to be the outcome? But I have to take logical steps because I have to know how we get there. And that's just me. And I apologise. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it useful. I hope you're going to join me in the next video. So thank you for joining me. Bye.